So you guys decide to head down to the jail. I'm guessing you're driving.
I am
her,
correct.
and I guess Borsati followed you.
Correct.
As a 35. You guys get to the jail.
Mm-hmm.
What route did you take? 95 north?
No, sir. I jumped on Phillips and took Phillips, and then jumped on 95 from all the way to the dead end of Phillips, and then jumped on 95 from there.
Gotcha. You guys get to the jail. What do you notice when you get to the jail? Like, how crowded was it, and what time did you arrive there, you think?
Oh, man. What time would we have arrived there? 5:30 maybe?
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'm not 100%.
And what was the crowd like? Like, how many cars
it
were
was It was a decent crowd. There might have been 3 or 4 people waiting to get in.
Okay.
Suspects, inmates at this point, waiting to get in. I was able to park pretty much in front of the intake door.
Okay.
But there were multiple cars. Fortunately, I had to park up front towards the exit.
Okay, and I guess, so when you get to the jail, you guys go inside before you start completing the arrest report?
No, sir. We'd started on the arrest report then, actually.
Where at?
In the Sally Port.
Okay.
In the Sally Port,
Right.
yes, sir.
So...
Oh, that's what you mean. I'm
yes,
sorry. We were
yeah.
in the Sally Port before we started.
Okay.
Correct.
So, you guys are in the Sally Port, and then that's when you begin to complete the arrest docket.
Correct.
Let me ask you a question, and just to clear some things up. The arrest report. You did the arrest report. Who did the narrative?
Officer Borside did the narrative,
Okay.
yes, sir.
And I guess, tell me the reason why he did the narrative.
I think we're just thinking because she was hobbled and just in a way to expedite the process. He said he might actually send it through MDC. Would you like me to do the narrative? And I said, that'd be perfect. I'll
Cool.
start on the blocks, and we'll knock that out.
Okay.
Now that we did review the narrative together.
Okay, not a problem. So you're doing the docket, you're checking in all the biographical stuff for her. He's doing the narrative. I guess at some point he sends you the narrative, you guys review it, you submit it. Who was the approving supervisor? You remember? Garrett.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever notify your supervisor of what you had prior to getting to the jail?
No, sir.
Okay.
It was he was, I believe that was the day he was on something. He told us we was going to be off the radio
Okay.
and stuff for a while, so if we had anything, send it to somebody else.
Gotcha. So you guys complete the docket, it gets approved. How long do you think that process took?
It seemed like it took a while. It had to have taken a good, hour and a half.
Okay.
Because I had a robbery deployment to be on at 7. I ended up showing up a few minutes late because of it. So.
Okay. And so the entire time, was she in the car or did you guys let her out?
She was in the car the entire time.
Okay, that you guys were completing the docket.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Sounds good. So docket's approved now and she's about to exit. What side of the vehicle did she exit on?
The driver's side.
Okay. And at that time, she had the hobble on. Who decided to take the hobble off?
I did.
Okay.
I spoke with. She had actually started to calm down quite a bit at this point.
Yes, sir.
She was, for once, being pretty quiet in the back seat, not saying much. At least if she was saying anything, it wasn't profanities. I opened the back door and I said, look, we can take the hobble off if you continue to cooperate. We'll remove this for you. That way you don't have to hop up to the front door. And we'll, let your legs breathe or whatever. And she agreed. She said, okay.
Okay, cool. So you take the hobble off. Do you give it back to Borsadi or you held
I
on to
actually
it?
went and put it in his car. I
Okay.
told him, I said, hey, I'm going to place it in your car.
Okay.
So I did.
So now it's coming close to, I'm guessing if you're saying you guys get there 5:30, you have the deployment around 7 o'clock. Tell me about the determination for you to leave and him to stay with Ms. Martinez.
Well, I told him, I said, I have a robbery deployment to be on at 7. I'm already late, and I hate being late for those things. But I just said, you're the second arresting officer on the docket. I said, would you mind staying? You can, sign the docket. And he said, yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Go do your thing.
Gotcha.
So, yes, sir.
And when you left them, how was she acting while standing in the Sally Port waiting to be admitted into the jail?
I wasn't there long. I don't remember her acting out at all.
Okay.
But I wasn't there very long to watch or observe.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You were not there for the entire incident that led up to the altercation between.
No, sir.
Okay, because you
No,
had
sir.
already left at that time.
Yes, sir.
Were you concerned about any of the use of force at the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What concerned you?
There's quite a few punches thrown.
Okay.
Um, hmm.
And when you say quite a few, what are you talking about? The number, the areas that the punches were thrown
No,
to?
the number.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of punches. More so attempting to control her arm and detain her.
Okay. So you're concerned about the number of punches thrown, not the area that they were thrown.
A lot of the ones that I saw were mainly to the back and side. It seemed
Okay.
like a pain compliance, but I think a combination of the number and then where they were thrown
Well,
could have concerned me. Such as you throw a few punches to the back or whatever, and to give a little pain compliance,
Right.
and to get her hand removed is fine. Continuous side back, I think is what kind of triggered
a little
maybe this
concern for you.
little, yeah.
Okay, so but when he's striking her or punching her, the handcuffs were not on yet, correct?
They were not on yet,
Okay,
yes, sir.
and she was not compliant. She was still resisting you guys' demands for give me your hands, give me your hands.
I had her left hand with the cuff behind her, but the right arm was not.
Right. So the strikes was probably to get her to, I guess, take her hand from in front of her to surrender
sir.
to you guys' instructions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said it was in the back and in the side.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Did you tell someone that about the strikes?
I called Sergeant Weeks.
Okay.
About the time I went into the robbery deployment.
Yes, sir.
I just called him real quick, just a quick concern.
Okay.
And a heads up.
And what was your concern?
Basically what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I just said, there was. I just said I want to talk to you about something, and he asked, just kind of briefly, what, and I said, with the incident and the arrest that we were just on, and I said, and I just said, with force and stuff used, and he said, "Oh, you talking about with Officer Borsade?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "I'm fully aware of it, but thank you for contacting me."
Okay.
The gist of.
And that was about 7 o'clock, right before you went into your
Man,
stakeouts.
It was. I was still a few minutes late,
No
5,
problem.
10 minutes late, so it was somewhere around there, just after 7, maybe.
Okay. All right. And you notified him by phone, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
And like we said, you did the docket, he did the narrative. You guys both read it and approved it. What at the parking lot of Scores did the actions of you guys begin to create a crowd, or?
No, sir. I don't remember a crowd at all. I remember a white truck pulling up right about the time we took her down, and then I remember him still there. Actually, when I told you that time that we got her
Right.
detained, and I just kind of took that breather.
Yes, sir.
And I remember him still there at that time, but there was no. I don't remember anybody outside. But I was so focused on her trying to get her detained. But even after the fact, I don't remember anybody outside.
Okay, and you are aware of the video that came out yesterday inside the Sally Port.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, were you aware about the other video of the parking lot? Did somebody call you this morning and let you know?
I was called. I was I was called about it last night. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, I called about it last night.
Somebody, because it was at the bottom of a news article or something of that
Yes, sir.
nature. Who notified you of it?
It was a fellow officer of mine.
Okay.
friend of
He
mine.
just kind of wanted you to see, like, hey, bro, this is probably gonna happen.
It just said, you know, hey, this video has come out, everything. So
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, you know, because we've reviewed the video as well. Looking at the video, tell me your opinion of looking at the video. Was it the same as the concerns that you communicated to Sergeant Weeks?
there were some things that were missed on
Okay.
my end that I didn't see. I don't know if it was adrenaline or maybe the few times that I looked up to, you know, the radio and contact, you know, to call for backup. But there were some more that I didn't see, that I didn't communicate to him at first.
Okay. But all in all, and look, I'm not here to. What am I trying to be, the moral police? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You guys are taking a person into custody who you guys had to respond to because of her level of intoxication, and she's not being compliant with her supervisors who terminated her and asked her to leave the premises. So as a result, you guys respond. While affecting an arrest, at some point, you guys were not able to get both handcuffs on. And if she's swinging it as a weapon, like I said, I don't think the video showed that portion.
No, sir.
So of course, you know how these things are.
Of course.
You get the juicy part, but you don't get the whole picture.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that will be for supervisors to determine. But look, when you're affecting an arrest and people are non-compliant, okay, and actively physically resisting, okay, sometimes things look bad,
Mhm.
but are they justified? You see what I'm saying?
agree.
So, but what you did by calling Sergeant Weeks was the appropriate response for
Yes,
everything. Because all you wanted to do was, hey, Sarge, FYI,
Yes, sir.
you know, I may not have agreed with everything, but we're making an arrest. So,
yes, sir.
you know, I'm just keeping you in the loop in case you get questions. So that's fair enough. Did you ask her, was she on any drugs?
I didn't ask her if she was on any drugs.
Did you ask her how much she had to drink?
All she said was one cocktail, is all she told me.
Okay. What about, and you didn't speak with management. Did Officer Borsadi
not.
and you communicate when he came out of the business after speaking to management before you guys approached her?
About just anything?
Like the
or just-
reasons why management wanted her gone.
The only thing I got from him, and I honestly couldn't tell you when it was that I got this from him, but he just said she was fired because she came to work drunk.
Okay. So she
Um,
came to work drunk is what? Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
What in your short time out there, because you guys have just been out there for like 2 months, which is probably the equivalent of a couple of work cycles.
Yes, sir.
Had you ever responded to any of the calls with Officer Borsadi?
Yes, sir.
And tell me about it. Was any of those calls you having to go hands on?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One previous, yes, sir.
Was-
just one, yes, sir.
Was it a situation that got out of control, or
No, sir, not at all. Well, I say out of control. It was a domestic situation, where we were trying to detain the husband,
Okay.
for domestic battery, felony domestic battery, and he resisted. The wife wanted to come out and save husband.
and everything was acted within policy and procedure?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay, nothing
Yes, sir.
stepping outside of bounds.
No, sir.
So you've handled calls with him before, and it's gone well. But when crap hits the fan, things happen,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. But
So, was there any other concerns that you had other than the amount of strikes that was used during the arrest? Was anything said? Anything racially? Anything derogatory?
nothing that I heard from him. No,
Okay.
sir.
Did he ever, and I know you said you was yelling, "Calm down, calm
Mhm.
down, give me your hands." Did you hear him yelling anything? Was anybody yelling, "Stop resisting"?
I don't want to tell you yes because I'm not 100%.
Right.
I was so into, getting her detained that with the adrenaline going, I couldn't say for sure. No, sir.
So you see how that tunnel vision starts to work,
It does.
auditory, visual
Absolutely.
exclusion and stuff like that. Yeah, because you guys are doing what police officers do on a daily basis. It's a dangerous damn job.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
and 99% of the times we go to these calls and nothing happens and it's peaceful, and then you get that 1% where you go to a call 4 o'clock in the afternoon to remove somebody from the premises, and I don't think anybody signed up for, oh my God, this is going to get as bad as it did.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us right now?
No, sir.
Do you have any questions, Detective Green?
Not at all.
All right, stand by. Let me just speak with my lieutenant and see if there's anything else that we need
Yes, sir.
to get clarified and stuff like that, and be with you, and then you can get out of here, all right?
Okay. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
Not
Yes,
a
sir.
problem, sir. Stand by.
Thank you.
Yes,
Stand
sir.
by.
Yes, sir. No, I was just saying that.
Oh,
Luther,
okay.
as courtesy. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much,
No,
man.
no. Yes, sir.
Just a couple more quick questions. So you can sit down, man.
Yeah, you gotta get
How old are you?
I'm sorry, I'm 28. So
You're also just like you.
Your mom raised you right. Mom and dad raised you right.
Mom and
That's
dad
right.
raised me very
All
right.
right.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And you keep that. You never lose that, even though we deal with the job that we deal with. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When did you complete your RTR report?
Yesterday, last night.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the video of the Scores parking lot prior to completing your RTR?
I did. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you reference anything from the video to base your narrative for the report,
As far as
or was it independent?
No, I really went into the RTR as independent as possible.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to say that, looking, seeing the video.
Didn't
I saw the video,
influence you,
right.
but I went in thinking from the time of the incident.
Okay.
Looking at
You said you actually missed some things on that you seen on the video that you missed. I
at
guess
the time that happened.
Right. What exactly are you talking about?
I think there was a point where he actually pushed her face or whatever into the ground.
Okay.
Maybe once, maybe a couple times.
Okay.
And I didn't see that at the time that it happened.
Okay. I'm trying to. All right. I want to ask this correct. Okay. So basically, what you're saying you missed was him pushing her head into the ground. What was the reason why you think he would have done that?
Man, I wish I could tell you.
Okay.
I really do. I don't know.
How many fights have you been in your life? Physical fights.
Oh man, I haven't been in any off duty or any outside of the course of the job.
Okay.
And during the course of the job with corrections in here, man, I don't know, 5, 6 maybe.
So, and all the fights you've had, are you starting now to notice the tunnel vision you get?
Absolutely. I mean, I still struggle with tunnel vision when fighting out.
We all do.
It's
We
not
all
a
do.
struggle, it's just human nature.
That's the
doesn't go
body,
away.
right?
Yeah.
That's the body. And I mean, you got the SWAT guys that they train themselves how to
Absolutely.
fight it and do a lot better job as us who don't get that training. But because what I'm trying to decipher was, did you miss what you didn't see on the video because you just didn't want to see it, or is it because, hell, you guys are both boogieing and trying to take care of business to get her to stop resisting?
No, sir. I think it was straight adrenaline.
Okay.
I just, there's just some things that I just missed, and when I look back at the video, I know when he pushed her head into the ground, I was trying to communicate over the radio at that point. So I think with just holding her down, trying to communicate over the radio, I think my mind was just elsewhere, and whether, I just didn't see it.
Okay.
Or it didn't register.
And so you never even noticed that until
I did
the
not
video.
notice it, yes,
Okay.
sir.
What'd you think when you seen it on video?
It was tough to watch. Yeah. Even being a buddy of mine.
Okay. Do you agree, disagree, or?
Disagree.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, something. First of all, because I can see you getting emotional. Because like I said, this was emotional for a bunch of us. Because I'll be the first to tell you guys, I commend you for what you do. I think the world of what you do, and you don't have a lot of heroes that will sign up to do what we did. Okay? So first things first, don't you ever second guess yourself on this job. Because that'll get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We can do all this Monday morning quarterbacking that we want to do, and the outside world can do the same thing, but they don't have the balls to sign up to do what we did. All right? So you guys stand up for that and understand something. Okay? When you get into these kind of situations, it can turn very ugly very fast. And I guess in your training is why they tell you, let's get this crap over as fast as possible. Okay? And a lot of times, when we see people that are smaller than us or bigger than us, it might get us to react differently. I will ask you a question from your training to now actually you see it on the streets, because you're no longer in a sterile environment. You don't get to land on a mat when you're on the ground fighting somebody. You guys are landing on hard pavement. So if you slam somebody's head on the mat, it may not look as hard. When you slam somebody's head on the pavement and you see it from a dash cam, it looks bad. What didn't you notice on that dash cam? Tell me what you didn't see on that dash cam.
I did not see.
Yeah.
Before her fighting us before.
Absolutely.
The reason why we took her to the ground.
Correct. Do you see her flailing the handcuff to strike you guys? You're not going to see that because, yet again, vantage point, and yet again, it's when somebody decided to start filming it. So that's what we do. Okay, we'll sit here and be the Monday morning quarterback, but I don't ever want you or any of the officers out there working doing anything excessive. But at the same time, you guys got to handle business, okay? Because if not, you'll end up getting hurt. Okay, and you got to remember that. So that's not what's being seen. And the head slamming, yeah, you might not agree with it because when we start looking back at it and now we get to see it in a different light while you're calm, there's no tunnel vision. Hey, I can't tell you why he did what he did, okay? But I would tell you when you're in a fight,
things happen.
Things
Absolutely.
happen, okay? And sometimes like they tell you in the academy, revert back to your training, okay? You guys been on 2 months. Okay, so other than the academy, what other training did you have to deal with this stuff? You don't have that. Okay, so sometimes people revert back to fighting and doing what they would normally do. You get up and you get her up and she kicks at you. When she kick at you, I guess you said something earlier about you trying to push her hands up. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that was afterwards, and I was trying to transport her to the car.
Okay.
Just kind of, yes, sir.
So when she kicks you, what happens then?
Stand her up, she kicks. You know, I think at that point I just really tried pulling her to the car. I think it was just, get her in the car and get her secure.
Did you notice Officer Borsati slamming her head in the car?
No, I didn't notice any of that. I remember grabbing her and pulling her to the car.
Okay.
And putting her in. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. No, sir.
So you told me earlier in the interview there was a time that she tried to back kick you, or mule kick you.
When we stood her up, yes.
Right.
Sir.
And then there was one that she did kick you, and she possibly contacted you.
I'm not sure where we're getting to them at. I mean, I know she was kicking when we were originally trying to get her handcuffs, and she was originally stood up before she was on the ground.
Okay.
I know she was kicking. And then she mule kicked when I had her stood up in handcuffs and was about to take her to the car.
Okay.
I remember by video that making contact, but I think that was strictly from video. I don't remember anything.
Could have kicked you, your adrenaline was rushing.
Absolutely. I don't remember feeling anything if she actually did.
Yep. And this is what happens. Trying to think what else. Yeah, because I know the RTR report was a little bit different than the arrest report.
I think just taking time to have everything settle in and, getting, not getting much sleep over it,
right.
But, kind of laying in bed and just thinking things start coming together for me again.
Did you disagree with anything that was written on the narrative of the arrest report? Was there anything left out? Was there anything that should have been added?
I think I looked over at him and I made some corrections. As far as I think you put in there at one point that she kicked us, and I said, you know what, man, I don't remember actually getting kicked. I don't want to put that,
right?
Because I don't remember getting kicked. So it was little things like that. But as far as disagreeing with, I didn't have any questions like, why'd you put this in here? I just remember saying, I'd rather not put that in there because I don't necessarily remember getting kicked, so I don't want to put that in there.
Right. So you take out something that actually happened. Now that you look at the video,
I mean,
you see what I'm saying? But it's just because, yet again, you perception, vantage point, but also too, you're now after the environment where you're fighting someone versus you being in an environment an hour and a half later completing the report.
Yes, sir.
Now you're in a sterile situation. She's in the backseat of the car. You're up front. You got an opportunity to breathe, probably get something to drink. So you actually took something out that actually happened. So, yet again, so sometimes when you write RTR, if you look at the video, or when you write the arrest report, sometimes we don't want to embellish, we don't want to put things in, but yet you took out something that was pertinent. But it's understandable because you don't remember.
Exactly.
And a lot of times you won't remember until you see a video. So what we're just trying to do is make sure that we clear that video up.
Absolutely.
So, because like I said, just like the news media, they get to see a snippet of what happened at the Sally Port. And like the only thing we get to see from the dash cam is what someone provided. But like I said, we don't see a whole bunch of the fighting before y'all go to the ground. We don't see her flailing and swinging with one handcuff on and you trying to wrestle her to get another hand. We don't see all of that. So, you know, sometimes it's a small picture of an actual big story.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, stand by one more time. Let me just make sure I
Too
speak with
long.
LT and
You're
then
fine.
we'll get you out of here.
All right,
Let me
thank
get
you,
you
sir.
another water, brother.
That'd be great. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right, brother. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
last question, and then we'll let
Yes.
you get out of here. Okay, when you watch the when you watch the video from the dash cam that you saw from the scores, and you said you noticed him slam her head or push her head into the ground, was there any reason you didn't document that as a part of the RTR narrative?
You know, because from the video, it's, you know, I'm getting up and getting on the radio. Like I told you before, I was trying to document as much as possible of what I kind of
Remember?
got from the incident, from the time that happened, and I'm sure the video played a role in kind of what refreshed my memory.
Okay.
But because of the way I was on the radio and looking up, and I don't think that refreshed my memory. I think that was something that I strictly got from the video.
Okay.
And I was trying to be really careful what I put in it, because I don't, you know, I didn't want to come across as, you know, like I saw something when I really wouldn't have. Just the way, you know, I was sitting up and looking away trying to get over the radio.
Okay.
I just didn't want to put anything in there that I, you know, that I didn't think I would have
That you
seen at the
didn't
time.
independently
Yes, sir.
recall from your knowledge or based on the video. And in the
Correct.
future, if that does happen, okay, because it's
Yes,
just like when we testify in court and stuff like that,
Yes, sir.
there's things we recollect, and then there's things that I don't recall, but according to the video or
Okay.
the interview, this is what was said.
Okay.
So you may want to document that
Okay.
way, like, hey, look, I don't remember this happening, but after seeing the video, this happened.
Yes, sir.
So,
Okay. Alrighty.
and that was
Cool.
it. And yet again, I will tell you, okay, whatever you do, do not let this incident or the results of this incident cause you to not act appropriately
Okay.
within policy and procedure.
Absolutely.
Okay, and the guidelines that you get Florida state statute. Don't fail to act
Mm-hmm.
because you're scared of what may have happened to Officer Borisati. You and Officer Borisati, you responded to the same scene, you dealt with the same suspect, but your actions were independent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I just want you to remember that for the future, because
Thank you.
you know, look,
Definitely.
officers may lose their jobs, but I hate to see an officer lose his life because they fail to act.
Absolutely.
All righty?
Absolutely.
All right. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
I
a lot,
appreciate
sir.
it.
You too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who moved in City Gate?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to email you.
You forgot to
about
email
that.
me. Who
I
moved
know.
in?
I didn't know. I don't know.
Isn't your girlfriend Kate? Isn't Kate your
No.
wife's friend?
Oh, I was about to say, don't tell my
Oh,
girlfriend.
no,
My
not
wife
your
would
girlfriend.
get
Your
mad.
wife's girlfriend.
Yes.
So
I
she
need to
didn't.
find